Thank you. Here comes another perspective on opportunity. I was so excited about the title of the day that I actually changed my normal talks and slides to actually integrate opportunity, because it's such a wonderful topic. And my perspective on it will add from realizing how much opportunity there is then to being grateful to get opportunity, and then to do the right thing with it. And being grateful, I'm grateful to get your attention for 15 minutes, and I think we all should be grateful for opportunities that we have, because it's the greatest gift to actually live the life that you choose, or actually live your dream if you choose to act on it. Okay, here and now. So realizing how much opportunity there is the first step, and I think opportunity there was never more opportunity than actually in this time or in this area of the world. So let me start with where we are. We live in the land of opportunity. So in this room, there's probably so much opportunity if you compare to other places in the world, and I want to focus your attention, get your attention to focus on basically see how privileged we all are. So clean drinking water is not there for everyone. We have clean drinking water even in our toilets these days. Food. There is not only enough food, there's so much food that we actually got things like biggie size for 39 cents somewhere in the world we live. We don't have to focus on shelter. Shelter is there, it's given, and basically it probably looks more like this, or even like this for where we are at the moment. Education. I mean, in this university, probably it doesn't look like basic education. It more looks like happy people that love education, beautiful people. So education is there. So actually, where we live, all of us in this room, I think we can be very privileged on the opportunities we have. The age of opportunity is the second thing. It's not only where we are, but the time we live in. So we could have landed elsewhere, other times like this. Not much opportunity, especially if you get a brain like this guy. Or in a time or somewhere in the world where you have to actually spend all of your day working like this, or where actually your mail works like this and not the way it works now on your smartphone. So, and maybe we can be happy that we don't live in the future where basically we're all just human batteries. So it's the right moment in time, and it's the right place in the world where there's more opportunity than probably anywhere else. So we got resources, we get energy, we get land, we get time, and we got tools. And exactly in this age where we live now, it's an age of digitalization. And this is taking the whole world upside down, right? So when all the power and information and all the resources were with the king and not with the people in the past, and with large corporations and the CEOs and large media stations, now the whole thing is turned upside down. So the power is with you and your smartphones, and with your raising your voice in groups and basically turning all the power down to the people, putting pressure on politics, on CEOs and large corporations. And all of these tools that we have and the time we live in, it's more opportunity than anywhere else. So this is what I mean when I say here and now. And that puts responsibility on us. Use your opportunity wisely. The greatest, I said the greatest, what I mean with having opportunity is a society that fosters entrepreneurship. And I think if you use your opportunity wisely at some stage, learn in corporations, study, do other things, but then at some stage, I think the best thing you can do is be an entrepreneur. And, there's a lot of things you can go wrong when becoming an entrepreneur. And this is one of the most important points. It's not only 80s, 90s, or the last 10 years. It's about your motivation for becoming an entrepreneur. What's your motivation? Is it this? And I think that's one of the things, if you look back when you're 90 years old, it's basically, that was the wrong emotions that kicked you to go and become an entrepreneur. I think everyone has a choice, and we have it. Rather take the opportunities you have to change the world. And this sounds so large, and I'm coming to my story, and I just want to be humble and say, it's not about how much, and if you got solutions to everything, but it's that you actually act, and the little contributions that add up from all of us. And also this, it's great to see in technology that many small contributions actually add up and change a lot of things. So here's what I want you guys to become: a social entrepreneur. A social entrepreneur, I would say, build a business that serves society, that pays you and your people, that does not max the profit, that is sustainable. And this is not either or. You can build a company that is not looking to maximize the profit, but actually pay salaries. And if it's successful, it can pay good salaries to the people, good salaries to the founder. But then the dream is not the exit or the IPO, but the dream is to maximize impact. And it's still a real company, and it's still earning money. You have to have a business model and a proof of concept, and you get your living out of it, and you definitely get love back from society. And that's worth much more than money. Because money is one of those things, once you have it, once you've been driving a Porsche, then you know it's not really, it's not really what makes you get up in the morning. So here's how, it's not here's how, but here's one example of becoming a social entrepreneur, and that's a story, my story I want to share with you guys. When I was a young boy, when I was 10 years old, I wanted my mom to take me to a concert of the Hof, and I was always, already as a kid at that age, very excited about the theory of the 6 degrees of separation. Nowadays, with Facebook and stuff, I think it's down to 4 degrees of separation. So 4 degrees to Barack Obama, 4 degrees to all the bad guys in the world, or to all the celebrities. So I think 4 degrees of separation even makes it more a reason to actually take the opportunities and do things. But it was 6 degrees of separation. I thought, great, if I go to the concert of the Hof, he might introduce me to his friends, and he didn't. So I thought, okay, he might introduce me to my first girlfriend, but he didn't. And then I changed my route and thought, okay, I should become a rugby player and then maybe find my first girlfriend this way. And I did quite well in Germany, but that's like nobody, if the German national team plays rugby against other countries, we normally lose, and normally we have 100 or 500 spectators. It's getting better these days now that I retired. Okay, but I thought, okay, I'm still on the right track playing rugby, but I need to go professional, and I can't do this in Germany, so I had the opportunity to go to London or Cape Town on a scholarship, and I decided to go to Cape Town because of the weather. It's much better weather, and I knew the place only from postcards, and I thought, wow, okay, this is where you want to go. But then whoever's been to Cape Town knows that the first 15 minutes from the airport to Table Mountain and city downtown is actually the way past townships and squatter camps. And that, at the time, being 19 years old, never been to Africa before, and I had signed a contract for at least a year, landed there, and it felt like home on the airport. And it was a cultural shock for the next 50 minutes. And something that worked in me for the 2 years that I was living in Cape Town. And on the scholarship, I played rugby, I went to the beach, I went to the parties, but I never visited one single lecture. So it's one of the few moments I'm in an academic house. But I spent time in the township, in the students' project. That was like a hands-on experience on how many little contributions change people's lives. So it was like even hands that are not made and like people who are not skilled in putting their hands to work. I experienced something like so close and so real that I later had to come back to it. When coming back to Germany, when I realized there were even more talented rugby players in South Africa, it was a great time, but they're better, or they're people who like run their normal life as well, and you always have to retire when you're 30. So I came back to Germany, worked for a .com startup, and later for a large company. And what I thought is then, okay, if I want to influence the world and want to change things, I have to go up the hierarchy of this old economy business. I have to someday make it to be CEO, and then I have money and power and influence, and I can change the world. I'm very happy today that after 4 years of this career, I stopped. And I stopped because of this idea that was quite small and simple in the beginning, and it's still simple, but not small anymore, luckily. That I was back in Germany earning money, and I tried to send the money down to this Cape Town Township Students project. And I found out two things, that this whole donation processes and the whole industry around it is broken, more than broken. International finance transactions. You try to send 100 euros to Kenya or to South Africa, and you only get 80 or 60 or 50 euros to the ground. One of the things, and the other problem was, hope I can go back, yes. I was sending down money, and the guys would write me emails how the rugby season goes, how the weather is, how the girls look on the beach, but not how my money actually makes an impact on the project. So we thought we bring it online, and we say the University of Cape Town Students Township Housing Project.org. And we wanted to fix this process by allowing people to donate online, and then the guys on the ground to just take a picture with their mobile phones or with the digital cameras, upload them, and then to have all 100 donors, small donors around the world, getting an email with pictures and updates, short updates, few pictures, but it feels to be close to the project. And the other thing is we wanted then to talk to PayPal and banks and credit card companies and say, please waive your fees because we are not transacting any other money than donations. But then we met those guys who worked for Paybox, later PayPal and eBay, and they said, okay, if you do something like this, don't do it for this one single grassroots project in Cape Town, but rather think of a marketplace and allow this infrastructure to be built and then to be used by hundreds of thousands of small initiatives around the world. They don't have a website and don't have the possibility for marketing and build up the brand and connect to their supporters, especially if they are not on site. So what we did is we were lucky to get this betterplace.org domain and name, and now, around about 5 years later, we've had 300,000 people who are actually using it. Single, small transactions, one by one, but people are coming back, even more small transactions, sharing online with Facebook and Twitter to attract more people. And we have more than 100 grassroots projects per week registering on the other side that get crowd-funded by many small contributions. And then we had to come to the problem, the social entrepreneur problem, because we're handling donations and we want 100% of donations on the ground. So we worked on it and basically then came up with that PayPal and credit card companies and banks would say, we take over all transaction costs, which is great, which is one step. And the rest of the transaction costs we are putting on top. So, but still this means we need to earn the money somewhere to co-finance those transaction costs and to pay for people and the office and all the overhead that we create, because we're having professional software developers and marketing people and stuff like that. And basically the lucky thing is the first 3 years we had to get private individuals, wealthy private individuals who gave us the money and don't get the money back as an investment. And nowadays we earn the money by cooperations with media and corporates who use our technology to do donation campaigns with their employees, with their consumers, and we have more than 10 large partners that don't appear on the website too much, but actually use our technology to run campaigns internally with their consumers and their employees. And they pay fees to us, fees with which we then basically pay for salaries and are able to forward 100% to the projects. I mean, there are so many social businesses and so many that can be thought of when using digital tools nowadays, and not all of them, or the least, have to do with donations. But it's a starting point, and it's one example of the thinking and the motivation that comes first. That when you realize what's your opportunity, to say, okay, I realize I have all the resources in front of me, and what's basically the motivation? And I really like the looking back when you're 90 years old. So take the right choice. And maybe you found a for-profit company first, and then give something back. Or you become CEO of a large organization, and you can use your power and influence to change something. But for some of you, you realize along the way you've learned enough, and now you apply it. And not only to get rich, but also to give something back to society. Thank you.